Hi everybody, welcome back to my mini homestead, and it is March 6, 2022. Happy birthday to my brother. And I thought we'd start off with a garden tour, discuss that with what we want to do this year, and just take a look at what it looks like right now. And then I'm hoping every 2 weeks or so to do another garden tour so you can actually see how things are changing around here. So let's cue the intro and get started with the tour. We're going to start off in the front garden, and this year, I know I've said for the last year and a half this arbor has to go, but it has to go this year. We've got some work that needs to be done in this flower bed before we start planting stuff out. This tall shrub here, whatever it is, it was supposed to be gone last fall, but it snowed before they could get here, and then the snow never went away till now. So now we're just waiting for the ground to thaw. We also had a windstorm in the fall just before it snowed, so we got a bunch of tumbleweeds, and that's got to go to the dump. But I got to wait till I can get into the backyard and take a whole load. So it's just a matter of seeing if our little shrubs and roses survive. Now I've already got some new leaves coming up on the hollyhock, and this was a really pretty pink one. Oops, the bird's over. Let's bring it back up. Oops, he does not want to stand. Okay, the bird is standing. I'll have to clean off this hibiscus tree, pull everything off of it. We've got glads already coming up, so happy about that. Our little pigs are sleeping, it looks like, so I need to get them set up. So we just got to get this cleaned up. This will be one of the quick jobs, and I mean the compost is in. Hopefully I can top it off with some sheep manure just to give the plant some extra growth. But let's continue on. Let's go check out the orchard. Here's our pear tree, and I had talked about us cutting it out because we didn't like the pears. But I have to tell you, what was it, the year before, I picked the pears middle of September, and they just did not work out. They weren't good at all, and we didn't like them, and was like, okay, the tree's gone, we'll get something in here we like. Well, this year, I never picked the pears until the 2nd or 3rd of October. They were amazing. Love it. So I'm going to leave the pears on here now till just before we get a hard frost and see what happens. I am going to give it a fairly hard prune, get it cleaned up, and then try to clean out the middle somewhat so we get some more sunlight in there. And then we got our cherry tree. I had pruned that in the fall, and we're going to do some more cleaning up on that too because we want to open it up. So then let's go up to the orchard garden, flower garden. So here's our orchard flower garden, and our shrub or bush, whatever it is, looks like it survived, and it's got some real pretty coloring to it. Rose bushes look good. We just got to plant it up this spring. So it looks like our hascaps survived. We've got some redwood on them. I think I need to do some trimming, but I'm going to have to look that up because I really know nothing about it, especially since I thought it was blueberries. Now right here along the fence, I'm going to put in a raised bed, not a very high one, but that's going to be for our Japanese cucumbers. Let's head up to the upper garden and take a look at it. I'm really happy. I've got, looks like one rose coming up there, another one there. There's just what, 4 or 5, I think. So I think I might win the battle on them. I'll get in here once the ground thaws and dig them up. Now, this is where the small birch tree was that I cut down, and this is like the one down below. We're supposed to get it ground out, but the snow came and that didn't happen. So this here, again, I will plant the San Marzano tomatoes in here and hope we have a better result. But again, we got them out late. We are going to fill it right to the top with compost. This spot right here is where we had our rhubarb. And I am going to, oh, we got rhubarb coming up. Oh, wow. there it is. It's already coming up. So my plan is to put a bit of a raised bed around here, put compost down. Up here was our pumpkin patch, but we realized we don't need a lot of pumpkin. So I can see rose bushes coming up again, rose canes, whatever they're called. And so we're going to fence this or put a raised bed in here. And this is going to become our zucchini patch. And once again, I'm going to get in there and pull more of these rose bushes out of here. One of these days I'll have them gone. So then we'll just take a quick look at the asparagus garden. I have no idea when they come up, so we'll just keep an eye on it. Let's go check out the poolside garden now. As you can see, the pool is still frozen, but because we cut out the trees that were up there, way less garbage in the pool so far. We hope to get the pool going earlier this year because we're going to get solar heating system and get that set up. So let's go to the garden. We'll talk about this spot first. So we have the 3 beds that we put in last year and they're staying together really good. There's no bowing. So I'm thinking the cables that I put down below are working quite well. So I'm happy about that. And I got this one to dig out. And then this dirt will carry down to the lower garden to throw in some of the holes, and I'll show you that later. Now this here poolside garden, we're actually going to make it higher. I bought the lumber for it in the fall. We're going to put another row of 2x6 up. It's not very hot. It's still frozen, but not, oh no, I can start working it. I can work on this bed. But that's as far as it goes down. Like, I mean, that depth, and then we hit the clay. And we just need more compost on here. So we will go get compost and fill her all up. So these beds, this long one here, and then, oh wow, look at the strawberries coming up. So strawberries are coming up great. We are going to transplant them up in to either the second bed or the new, I think the second bed, because that bed's ready to go. So I'll wait a little longer for it to warm up a bit more and then get these all transplanted. And I'm hoping to turn this into our herb garden so that we can just walk out from the kitchen and grab some herbs to cook. All right, let's head down to the lower garden. Before we head down, I just wanted to show you this railing. There was no railing along this edge. No railing down the steps, no railing down the steps there or railing here. And it's well over the 2 feet. And so it needed to be done. So last summer, I think it was August. Yeah, it was definitely August because Mom and I, and then a friend of mine, Cindy, we worked on this. And then my aunt helped a bit as well and got that all in and redid the steps. And I've got a video on this that I'll be putting out, as well as that railing comes out much farther now. Okay, let's continue down to the lower garden. And it just makes me so happy to look down here. I mean, look at the greenhouse is sitting in the sunshine and we don't have to build it this year. We're just that much farther along. And I am going to do a video on what I learned in my first year of gardening and my do's and don'ts probably. Now this here where the snow is where our zucchini was. And we've decided to turn this back into lawn. And that's because we need to be able to drive up here and it just gets in the way. So that one's coming out. Down there, that bed there is where I've got onions and garlic planted. So we're going to see if that's going to work. And the ground is melting. As you can see, we still got a bit of snow, but not a whole lot. I don't know what's going to happen with our raspberries. We'll just wait and see what comes up, and if it doesn't come out, we'll pull them out and put new ones in. Now I'm going to make some changes to our garden beds here. Again, these beds are not deep enough, so what we're going to do this year, anyhow, we'll start with, is I'm going to take this compost into the greenhouse to fill in the beds that I've built in there, and I'll show you that in a second. Then we're going to take this wood, put it on top of this bed, and make that bed deeper. Then here we're going to use roofing material and build a bed about 16 inches higher. I had thought about going higher than that, but I'm quite satisfied with being able to sit on the edge instead of leaning over it. Then this one here, well, one of these we're gonna pull out and again put in a raised bed with roofing, and the other one we're just gonna build it up and top it up. So I think probably what will happen is this one, we'll pull the wood from this last bed here, make it higher, and then turn this one into the roofing one. All right, let's go check out in the greenhouse. So last fall, I had made this one higher. So, whoops, it's got true 2x6 sides, so 2 levels, so right around 12 inches there. And I did have, it's a mess because I've been working in here. I had some beets that survived. I've got a Swiss chard, and then down there I have some spinach. We'll take a walk down there. But what I've been working on now is I had no wood on the outside of this bed except for the cedar that we have as sort of our part of our greenhouse. And I decided I didn't want the dirt up against that wall because I want that wall to last as long as it can. So I was able to get some more cedar from my Uncle Orn. So this week I built up this bed here, like I put the top one on, there was a bottom one. Back I put up 2 boards and ran it the whole length. And then you can tell like the difference in color. So the bottom board was there before, the top board wasn't. It is wherever I had, where am I? Wherever I had a joint, I made sure I didn't have a joint on the top, at least for the front. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take all the compost from this bed and move it over into this bed. And then once that's done, I will then bring compost from one of the beds outside that we're gonna redo and put it all into this bed. And the reason I'm doing that is I have a door here and it blocks the path. So it'd be just a pain to try to get around it. So let's take a look. The door was actually opened last night. I didn't realize it. So we're already at 20 Celsius. So just under about 68 degrees Fahrenheit in here, and it's around 9 o'clock, I think. So it's working good. And I have a bunch of veggies, which I'll show you in a minute, that I'm going to plant out here. They're all cool weather crops, and I'm pushing the envelope and seeing what kind of success we have or what losses, and I'll learn from them. All right, let's go and see the vegetables. So here are my shelling peas that I planted, and this was 2 weeks ago. So I need to get them out into the greenhouse. I'm not happy. I planted 52, and I think I only got 25 up. So I've bought more seed. I'm going to plant more. Down here, I definitely have to get these out. So radishes, cabbages, or what's those? What is back there? Yeah, these are all radishes. Then I've got beets. I got my leeks. I've got snow peas. Then down here, I've got kohlrabi, celery. My little ones are celery, so I will prick them out later. Then I've got turnips, broccoli, cabbage. What I'm really excited about is my artichokes. So I got artichokes this year that I'm going to go, and I'm going to do those in 20-gallon pots. Then here, these ones I planted a week and a half ago now. And so these are my onions. I don't know why. I've got one here, but my early yellows are not coming up. So these are my white sweets. These are my Apache. But that being said, last year it took a long time for my onions to come up, so I'm just going to be patient. It's hard, but I'll be patient. Then I have my lettuces, and my first row lettuce, none of them came up. But I've got arugula that's looking really good, my Lola Rosa, and my black seeds. So those are all coming up. And then I have red romaine and a weed and green romaine. So I have plenty of that there. And then I've got spinach coming up, and I'm really happy with this because it came up way quicker than last year when I did it. And then that tray down there is my portulaca, and that's going to be a while before that comes up. What I've got down here is I am trying dahlias. So let's see, we're getting some light. There we go. So here I have dahlias that I've potted up, and we're going to see how they do. I just got myself a new tray for working with filling my trays so I don't make such a mess. A big bag of compost, and then a bunch of seeds and stuff that I need to get done. So that's my seeds. So that's it for our tour for March 6th of 2022. And if you found it interesting and want to see what's going to be happening around here, make sure and subscribe and click on that notify button so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos. And I do try to post Sundays and Wednesdays. Right now I'm playing catch up with stuff that we did last spring, summer, and fall. I'm getting close to getting all caught up with those, but I'm having fun. And this is just my this is the first start of my second year of gardening. So if I can do it, you can do it. You can also learn from my mistakes and my successes. I'm hoping for some of those. Okay, so we will see you later. Bye from my mini homestead.